you're about to see me get absolutely demoralized by this high-level brown belt, and today I'm going to be rolling with Chris. Chris has some amazing guard passing and leg locking abilities. Now this is going to be a huge trouble for me as I have literally no leg lock defense and bolo defense. Now we'll see Chris reset here, and he uses his head to try and pass my legs. Now watch this cool pass he does. Now you'll see he turns his back toward me, which makes me think that I can take his back. But then he goes in front and passes my leg through so he's able to get to side control. Chris passes and makes me look like I have absolutely no guard retention by diving in on this beautiful Darce. But I peel away his hands so he cannot wrap up the choke. And he goes inverted trying to re-guard, and he starts letting me pass. My passing looks like a complete choke to him as I just completely get off balance and he starts working on some sort of armbar. Chris uses the armbar to get some momentum and inverting into my legs and trying going for a leg attack. In the gi player I am, with the very little leg lock defense, all I know is to fight his hands and try to free that grip. I don't have a foot fetish, so I can't tell you much about leg locks, but I can tell you can always fight their grips away. Chris comes up on top and he goes for the armbar. I'm kind of trying to fight this armbar off as he goes into Kimura and he starts looking for a Kimura trap, which I do sense, and I'm trying not to give up my back, so I do try to stay on my knees the whole time and I start working on my passing. I take my 10 seconds of glory of finally having top control, and then I sense I'm in a pickle, so I try to stand back up and pass. I make this mistake by not pushing down his leg, instead he frames on my hip and reguards. As he knocks me over, he controls my leg and he comes up into me and he's able to pass around. His posture is broken, so that means I can attack a Kimura. He jumps onto the armbar and then switches into a knee bar position. Then he just resets and then we start again. I start butt scooting like the dog I am. I grab his ankle and he steps to the outside. He steps over around me, turns his back to me, and I start working on some sort of capsizer. Chris makes me look like I have absolutely zero jiu-jitsu, which I really do like the pace of this roll as it's very slow and you can learn. But Chris is still rinsing me with this beautiful passing he does. Just look at the sequence. This was super clean. Enjoying the video right now. If you could please hit like, share, subscribe. All this is super helpful as we are on the road to hitting 1K on YouTube. Now back to the video. He hits this really clean pass and goes straight into an ankle lock. Now this heel hook is on pretty tight, and all I'm doing to survive this is I'm trying to fight his hands away and try to break the grip. I'm pushing my foot through the hole and then I'm turning my ankle away so he can no longer attack the heel hook. We start into this dogfight position, which then he inverts and collects my ankle. And then now I roll through and he collects my heel and gets a heel hook. Now, thanks to Chris for not absolutely ripping my ankles to shreds, and then we reset and start back up. And now here I butt scoot in and I go shin on shin. I sit back and I pull his shin on mine and he does a long step pass over me. He then switches to knee on belly and he starts working on another Darce. But the Darce doesn't work, so he's trying to circle around me, and I lumberjack sweep him. I then go for a discount version of a straight ankle, and then he reverses it and goes for his own straight ankle. Now, like the gi player I am, I do not practice much leg locks. I give him the tap, and then we start off in side control. Immediately, I postured up, and he shoots up into an armbar. He uses the armbar to go back into the legs and try to attack my back. But if I keep my butt and my back toward the floor and facing away from him, he can no longer attack my back. And then he goes on knee on belly and he starts working on an armbar. If you guys like the gear I'm wearing in this video, make sure you check out X Marshall. X Marshall has lots of great rash guards gear like I'm wearing in this video, and go ahead and use code Carter15 to save 15% on all gear. After that short little ad break, we continue. I grab onto Chris's ankle to try and imbalance him, and then I start working on my single leg X and going for a straight ankle, which was really weak and not tight, so he's just able to pry off my ankle. And then he attacks a Baron Bolo, but since my butt is away from him, he can't attack me. Which anytime you're getting Baron Boloed, if you turn your butt away from your opponent, they can no longer attack your back. And at this point I am sweating so much, it looks like I did 10 rounds of Turkish oil wrestling. If you don't have successful passing, listen to this. In Jiu-Jitsu, angles beat frames. So I'm the one defending, right? So I'm going to be creating my frames. He's going to create angles that destroy my frames, and that's why he's having so much success passing my knee and elbow connection. One thing you'll notice when Chris is passing, he's trying to separate my knee and elbow connection so he can get past. That's why his passing is so successful. and it's just something to keep in mind when rolling or doing anything. Just angles always beat frames. Chris gets this little clean armbar, and I have nothing left to do but tap. Not much time left in this roll, so we reset, and then I start in and I go shin on shin. I then enter into my single leg X, and I start working on another straight ankle. Big thanks to Chris for letting me record this. If you're ever at Halifax Jiu Jitsu, make sure you have a roll with Chris.